Valmiki Ramayana, Bala Kanda, Book 1. Kanda Sarga, Kanda 1, Book 1. Sarga 56. Roman numerals LVI 56. VIS'VÁMITRA'S vow. But Vishvamitra, at the threat of that illustrious anchoret, cried as he launched with ready hand a fiery weapon, stand, O stand. Vashishta, wild with rage and hate, rising as 'twere the rod of fate, his mighty Brahman wand on high, to Vishvamitra made reply. Nay, stand, O warrior thou, and show what soldier can 'gainst Brahman foe. O goddess son, thy days are told, thy pride is tamed, thy dart is cold. Now shall a warrior's puissance dare with Brahman's awful strength compare. How shall a warrior's puissance dare with Brahman's awful strength compare? Today, base warrior, shall thou feel that God-sent might is more than steel. He raised his Brahman's staff, nor missed the fiery dart that near him hissed, and quenched the fearful weapon fell, as flame beneath the billows swell. Then goddess son in fury threw Lord Varun's arm, and Rudra's too, Indra's fierce bolt that all destroys, that which the Lord of herds employs. The human, that which minstrels keep, the deadly lure, the endless sleep, the yawner, and the dart which charms, lament and torture, fearful arms. The terrible, the dart which dries, the thunderbolt which quenchless flies, and fate's dread net, and Brahma's noose, and that which waits for Varun's use. The dart he loves, who wields the bow, Pinaka, and twin bolts that glow with fury as they flash and fly, the quenchless liquid and the dry. The dart of vengeance, swift to kill, the goblin's dart, the curlew's bill, the discus both of fate and right, and Vishnu's of unerring flight. The wind god's dart, the troubler dread, the weapon named the horse's head. From him, from his fierce hand, 2 spears were thrown, and the great mace that smashes bone, the dart of spirits of the air, and that which fate exalts to bear. The trident dart which slaughters foes, and that which hanging skulls compose. These fearful darts in fiery rain he hurled upon the saint amain. An awful miracle to view, but as the ceaseless tempest flew, the sage with wand of God-sent power still swallowed up that fiery shower. Then Goddess Son, when these had failed, with Brahma's dart his foe assailed. The gods with Indra at their head, and Nagas quailed disquieted. And saints and minstrels, when they saw the king that awful weapon draw, and the three worlds were filled with dread, and trembled as the missile sped. The saint with Brahman wand empowered, by Lord divine that dart devoured, nor could the triple world withdraw rapt gazes from that sight of awe. For as be swallowed down the dart of Brahma sparks from every part, from finest pore and hair cell broke, enveloped in a veil of smoke. The staff he waved was all aglow, like Yama's sceptre, king below, or like the lurid fire of fate, whose rage the worlds will desolate. The hermits whom that sight had awed extol the saint with hymn and laud. Thy power, O sage, is ne'er in vain. Now with thy might restrain. Be gracious, Master, and allow the worlds to rest from trouble now. For Vishvamitra, strong and dread, by thee has been discomfited. Then, thus addressed, the saint well pleased, the fury of his wrath appeased. The king, o'erpowered and ashamed, with many a deep-drawn sigh, exclaimed, Ah, warrior's strength is poor and slight. A Brahman's power is truly might. This Brahman's staff the hermit held, the fury of my darts has quelled. This truth within my heart impressed, with senses ruled and tranquil breast, my task austere will I begin, and Brahmanhood will strive to win. Jai Valmiki Ramayana. Amazing. Amazing, beautiful description. The fight between two great souls, Vishvamitra and Vashishta. Vishvamitra and Vashishta. These are celestial beings, sage and a philosopher king, and for some reason they had some argument, and the whole hell went loose between these two guys. Footnotes. 68.1. The names of many of these weapons, which are mythical, come on, Ralph Griffith, and partly allegorical. No, no, have occurred in Canto XXIX, Roman numerals 29. No, stupid. These weapons are not mythical and not allegorical, idiot. These are true weapons of higher planetary systems, higher dimensions, higher dimensional beings called demigods, multidimensional beings called the great sages, philosopher kings, whose abilities we cannot even comprehend. Because you cannot even comprehend, you call them imaginations. Unfortunately, the general signification of the story is clear enough. It is a contest for supremacy between the regal or military order and Brahminical or priestly authority. Like one of those struggles which our own Europe saw in the Middle Ages, when without employing warlike weapons, the priesthood frequently gained the victory. Schlegel. Yes, you have to understand Schlegel, Mr. Schlegel. It is not some allegorical story that depicts some struggle between Kshatriyas and Brahmanas. It is much more divine, celestial, and beyond your ability to comprehend. Okay? You just accept it as it is. Do not try to minimize the great pastimes of the great personalities who are much more exalted and virtuous than you are. For a full account of the early contest between the Brahmanas and the Kshatriyas, see Muir's original Sanskrit text, 2nd edition, volume 1, chapter 4. Okay. So many things to talk about. I hate when these Freemasons trying to make everything mythological and allegorical. Okay, ciao.